We welcome you, everybody, here to Cameron Indoor on the campus of Duke University. It's the ACC Network presentation on ESPN. It'll be the Duke Blue Devils taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies. The Hokies coming in at 8-4. They are 0-1 in the ACC. Duke Blue Devils at 10-1. And, of course, behind Wendell Moore and Paolo Banchero, they have been one of the big stories in college basketball this season long. Dave O'Brien and Jay Billis with you. Jay, Wendell Moore probably deserves a lot more credit than he's gotten from a lot of people.
I don't think there's any question, Dave. Paolo Banchero is the most talented player on this Duke roster, but the best player has been Wendell Moore Jr. He leads the team in scoring. He leads the ACC in assists. He's in the top 5 in assist-turnover ratio, and he's done a great job on the defensive end. He is an outstanding player that's playing his very best.
Well, he's going to be guarded tonight by 6'3" junior Hunter Couture, who's also a guy for Mike Young who can really shoot the ball.
He can really shoot it. Shoots 44% from three. He's made 28 threes on the season. That's near the top of the Atlantic Coast Conference. 2.3 threes made per game. And he's also an excellent defender. He's going to be guarding Wendell Moore Jr. to start out this game. And he's really the smartest player on this Virginia Tech roster.
Both of these teams handle the basketball very, very well. Coach K's team, one of the nation's best ball handling teams, and Virginia Tech also a team that rarely turns it over, so has a chance to be a very slick, well-played game. Sometimes that's the kiss of death, but it could happen tonight.
Well, Duke is going to try to put some pressure on Virginia Tech. The Hokies like to reverse the ball, get it from one side of the floor to the other, and they're a very good cutting and passing team. And the best way to disrupt that is to do it with ball pressure. I think you'd expect that from Duke this evening.
ACC opener for the legendary coach and the Blue Devils, as you might guess. He's done very, very well in these. Mike Young's team's already dropped one inside the ACC to an excellent Wake Forest team. Trying to get back into the win column here in conference play tonight as we are underway. Duke winning the opening tip.
Virginia Tech starts out in man-to-man. They're a containment man team. Most of their defense is going to be played inside that three-point line, but they're very physical inside that line.
First shot by Keels. Is he going to knock that down? That's a nice start. He's been a hot hand lately.
17 of 30 in his last 3 games, including that shot. He's averaging 15 points over those last 3.
Just named ACC Freshman of the Week. Hokies a team that shoot the ball well, 46%, 40% from beyond the three-point line. Hebe Aluma getting inside, and that's a great early sign for the Hokies. He's their number 1 player.
Got a ball reversal to start the game from the left side of the floor to the right. And Aluma, if he gets one-on-one in the post, he'll go after. He's also a very good passer out of the post.
Keels just buried that 3 moments ago. Wendell Moore. Banchero off the fake. A lot of attention, he always does, but they get it outside for another triple and Moore, who's really heating up out there.
Well, a smart pass out by Paolo Banchero. When Hunter Couture helped off to dig down, he found Wendell Moore on ball side, ready to shoot the ball. That was a really good pass by Banchero.
Here's Couture, going to turn and fire. Aluma, very tough rebound, bodied up against Banchero. And they'll get it outside for Murphy, Storm Murphy, the graduate out of Middleton, Wisconsin. And it's going to go here for Justin Mutz. Comes in averaging 9.7 rebounds a game.
Mutz is one of those players that you say he can guard all 5 positions. He really can. He'll switch out onto a point guard. He'll be guarding Mark Williams. There's not a player on the floor that he will not guard and cannot guard.
Duke shooting 49% from the field. Banchero with a misfire. Williams just using those long arms up and over everybody, but denied by Mutz as he blocked the shot. Off the fake again. It's going to be Moore to lift and hit the 3.
But that is a big-time play by Wendell Moore Jr. The pass fake, then the shot fake created that space for the sidestep jumper.
Aluma up top. He's 6'9", the senior out of Maryland.
Ball goes inside to Banchero. When Couture helps down, Banchero realizes it, kicks it out to Moore for that easy step-in jumper, and then Another inside-out play. That pass fake got Aline to bite on it. Then the shot fake got Couture to fly by. Really well done by Wendell Moore Jr.
Averaging 17 points, 6 rebounds. Aline will bounce here. Mutz, the 6'7" grad, backs in. Slick move, but it wouldn't roll in. Moore collects. Here he comes. Pushing the tempo. Flips it up and in for 2. What a great hesitation there at the end.
Well, he's just got everything. His decision-making from last year to this year has improved immeasurably. And for a team last year in Duke that turned the ball over like crazy, they're one of the most efficient teams in the country this year. They averaged 2-to-1 for assist-turnover ratio as a team.
Number 1 in the ACC, or number 2 in the ACC in that category. Aluma blocked by Williams. Top shot blocker in the conference, averaging 3 a contest. And let's see if Duke can turn that into points.
Duke has multiple handlers. They have so many guys that can bring the ball up and initiate.
And multiple shooters, too, as the freshman from Seattle buries a 2. And a nice start against much stiffer competition than Duke has been playing as of late. They're on top 13-4.
Done a good job with their pressure defense and walled up in the post when they've played one-on-one in the post.
Mutz tried to sling it inside for Aluma. It eventually got to him. He's got a lot of game down there.
He's a smart player. He's got terrific feet and great hands. You know, he started out his career at Wofford, played for that great team that Mike Young had at Wofford that went 30-5, that had Fletcher McGee, Storm Murphy, who's playing for Virginia Tech now. They had Chavez Goodwin, who's now at USC. That was a great team.
Yeah, they won 30 games. High rebound here by Aline, who pulls down about 4 per game. Aluma outside this time and swishes in a triple.
Smart play in transition. The little drag screen and then pop out to the three-point line. Difficult for a big guy to guard.
He's not been great beyond the three-point line, at least until tonight, only 21%, but right on the money there. And Banchero will draw the foul with 15-18 to go here in the first half. Duke off to a nice start, leading a good Hokies team 13-9. Wendell Moore, maybe the man to beat early on for ACC Player of the Year. I know it's terribly early, but already 8 points tonight.
Well, he's off to a great start. Not surprising given how he's played all season long. There's just a maturity to his game this year that's so impressive. It's hard to speed him up. His decision-making has been fantastic, and he's been, I think, the best leader for this Duke team.
That's exactly what Mike Young told us at his shoot-around today when we asked him his number 1 concern. He rattled off several when facing Duke for the first time, but this guy with the ball was number 1, and so far he's only missed 1 shot. You just saw it there.
Well, when he's the inbounder, you always have to watch more. He can come off for a handoff off that initial pass, or he can go right in and post.
Mutz on the baseline. That's a tough shot by Murphy. Rebounded away by the Blue Devils. They want to push the tempo whenever they can. Moore airborne, and the basket would not have counted anyway. He was fouled on the floor. 14:48 to go in the half.
Doesn't matter who gets the rebound. So many of these Duke players can just rip and run, grab the rebound and advance it themselves. But when they can get it to Wendell Moore, he does a great job of pushing the ball up the court quickly. He's essentially their point guard.
Hunter Couture picks up his first personal. In for Banchero. And Moore will set it up now for the 10-1 Blue Devils, ranked number 2 in the country coming in. And a lot of excitement generated as Roach gives it up. John into the game and another whistle. That was with 9 on the shot clock. And a foul against Storm Murphy. Roach slamming on the brakes and back out top with a shot clock at 9. Banchero, little fall away.
That was a good job by Aluma You want to try to force Banchero to his left. When he goes to his right, he tends to get all the way to the rim. To his left, he's more of a pull-up jump shooter.
Here's Mutz, but an ugly-looking shot. Banchero trying to get rolling.
Good job by Mutz to wall up, not let him get an angle to the basket.
John up to set the screen. Roach straight on. Can't drill it. And a high rebound comes out to Naheem Aline. Maddox quickly to the other end, and it rolls in for Darius Maddox.
Took a bump, still finished the play.
Sophomore out of the state of Maryland. Good defense again here by the Hokies, and that's been a watchword under Mike Young.
Well, this is a physical Virginia Tech team, and when you take the ball to the basket, whether it was Maddox on the last play for Virginia Tech or that last play for Duke, you'd better be prepared to take a bump.
Better be prepared for number 22 as well. Aluma another basket. That's a 9-0 run for the Hokies.
And you wonder, with one-on-one in the post with Aluma, whether Duke will send a second defender and try to double. But they're such a good three-point shooting team. It's kind of a pick-your-poison thing. If you double Aluma, he's such a good passer, you might give up an open three.
Banchero with a touch. Lost control of it, and it rolls out off of the Hokies. A.J. Griffin and Trevor Keels coming back on for Coach K. And maybe a little frustration here showing for Banchero early.
Well, A.J. Griffin coming into the game. He's been a big lift for Duke since he's been healthy. Last 3 games, he's been excellent. Average over 12 points, 60% from the field.
Moore will knock down another one and quickly has 10 points.
He has shown everything in this game. His three-point range, getting it to the rim, making good decisions, and his pull-up game. I think he sells popcorn at the next break.
Not a lot he can't do. David Gasson into the game. Good size there at 6'9". Here's the jumper on the way by Maddox. He usually drains those. He's 55% from three-point land. Griffin wanted to step into one, lost the handle. Scooped up by Aline.
Numbers.
He gives it back. Kicked it right away. Now Mad scramble for it. And a tie-up. Duke on top 15-13. They were cruising pretty good there for a while. But the Hokies came right back. You mentioned it's going to get physical. 11:51 to play here in the first half. And we welcome you to Cameron Indoor. Dave O'Brien and Jay Billis. We're in the middle of a timeout right now. Duke got off to a very quick start, Jay, behind Wendell Moore, who has 10 points early on.
Wendell Moore is the leading scorer for this Duke team. He leads the ACC in assists. He's had an ACC Player of the Year caliber season to this point, and he's off to a great start in this game with those 10 points. Duke did a good job early on getting the ball inside, playing back out, and then getting some open shots. But this Virginia Tech team is tough. They fought back. They can really shoot it. They're a ball reversal team. They like to get the ball from one side of the floor to the other. Very good cutting team. Last couple possessions, they haven't cut as well because of Duke's pressure. And that's really the key to the game for Duke. Can they put enough pressure on the ball to make it difficult on this Virginia Tech team? And really one of the key defensive issues for Virginia Tech is going to be guarding Paolo Banchero. Can they force him to his left? Can they make it difficult on him? Make him take tough twos, shoot over them? Keve Aluma's done a very good job to start this game on Paolo Banchero. He's been a little bit quiet. It's still very early. And Aluma on the offensive end, he's gotten one-on-one in the post and has taken advantage of it. He is a really good basketball player. It'll be interesting to see if Duke brings another defender at him because he's had so many good opportunities to start this game with 9 points, 4 of 5 from the field.
Bancaro, on the other hand, a chilly start. He is 1 for 5 for 10-1 Duke. Blue Devils have been a steady team despite some rough seas due to other programs' COVID problems. After a long 2-week layoff following that great win over #1 Gonzaga, then the tough loss at Ohio State, Duke has won the last 3, but then Cleveland State and their replacement, Loyola of Maryland, both bowed out of Saturday's game, and Duke had to invite in Elon and beat them 87-56. On the other side, Mike Young, third year as Virginia Tech's head coach, has done a very, very good job. They were 9-4 in the conference last year, including a victory over the Duke Blue Devils.
Well, Mike Young is one of the best coaches in America, and he is known primarily as an offensive coach, an offensive guru, but his team plays really good defense. They play more of a containment defense, so most of their defense will be inside the three-point line. They don't get out and pressure as much. They're not out in passing lanes beyond the three-point line, but they make it really difficult for you to get to the basket.
Both of these teams do a very good job taking care of the basketball. Duke, one of the nation's best ball handling teams. They're number 3 in assist to turnover, number 7 in fewest turnovers per game, just a little over 9. The Hokies also take very good care of it, so it has a chance to be a very smooth game tonight. 15-13, Duke by 2. Keve Aluma, who's been a best player for the Hokies this season, 14.6 rebounds a game. Long jumper on the way, and that won't hit the mark by Aline.
Tough one. He had to take a step back there.
When you talk about the year that Wendell Moore is having, the nation's only power conference player, averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists or better, while shooting 50% from the floor. And the foul with 11:19 to go will go against Maddox.
Yeah, Moore's leadership has been really impressive. It seems like it's impossible to speed him up. I can't think in the games that Duke has played, at their 11 games, that he's had a bad one. He's just been so solid in every aspect of the game and has really served as Duke's initiator, essentially their point guard out on the floor.
Keels looking to operate. Got it to Baker outside the 3. Here's Keels to launch. Can't hit that three-pointer. That was with the shot clock down about 5.
Well, Keels is a really good shooter. That one just not quite in the rhythm he would have liked.
Padula makes a fine move to get free. Here's Couture. Slips in the paint. Mutz backing in. Hokies get it right back to him, and he's been such a good all-around player for them.
Well, Justin Mutz is an outstanding player. At 16 against Maryland, 15 against Wake Forest. I think he's the best passer on this Virginia Tech team. And he's so alert off the ball. He's such an energy giver on the floor, especially defensively.
John lost control of it off the fingertips, but tipped off of the Hokies. And a wholesale substitutions. Bancaro coming back on among them for Coach K.
Duke has really used its depth much more early in this season, and they've got quality depth.
Leading the ACC in shooting percentage, they make 49%. They also commit the fewest fouls in the ACC. Keels again. That one clanged away. Now he came in at only 32% from three-point land, playing better as of late, but that number's still lower than you anticipated.
But he's a really good shooter. I mean, you watch him in practice and watched him before the game. He drills it. But sometimes in games you tend to speed up a little bit, and that's probably been a factor for his shots early on in this one.
The Hokies coming in at 8-4. Could easily have a couple more wins at this point. They lost by 1 point to Xavier and by 5 at Dayton.
At Dayton, the Flyers' pressure, I think, really got to Virginia Tech, and that's going to be something to watch in this one.
And Padula just lost it down the lane, lost it all by himself, so in a 15-15 tie, it goes back over to Duke.
Because Virginia Tech has so many good shooters, I mean, it sounds simplistic, but you want to make shooters drive, you want to make drivers shoot. And so Duke is going to want to make the Virginia Tech shooters put the ball on the deck.
Bancaro trying to flash some of his skills and will draw the foul. Ohio State did a good job on him. They held the gifted rookie to just 4 second-half points. He had a rough shooting game in that one. He was 4 for 14 against the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I was there in Columbus for that game. Zed Key was fantastic. His interior presence was a big factor.
He is all Duke for, 42 years now. Has been among the very best at running the inbounds, getting strikes like that.
They ran everything early on to the left side of the floor. That time Keels just peeled around to the right and got an easy layup. Mike Young calls those special situations.
Couture blocked by Williams. Top shot blocker in the conference at it again. Banchero. Look at how they move it, but Moore lost the handle on it, and a whistle on the play and a foul.
Take a look at number 1, Trevor Keels here. He's just going to set a little screen and peel off of Mark Williams. Just a terrific pass to get the easy layup. And Dave, you saw how good Duke can be in transition, even off of a miss. They outlet it to almost any ball handler, and they can move it quickly up the court. They pass ahead, and with those multiple handlers, they can pass it. Well, oftentimes to big guys, you don't want to pass ahead to big guys. They're not worried about passing ahead to Banchero because he handles it like a guard.
Maddox with the foul. Moore hits 69% at the line. And another one coming. Duke on top, 19-15.
Wendell Moore Jr. had a triple-double earlier this year, and he's had a couple more where he was a point or a couple of rebounds away. Not a point, but a rebound or a couple assists away from another triple-double. He had that triple-double against Army.
Maddox tiptoeing through the lane. Low pass, got it up, and eventually tipped in. Justin Mutt stayed with it. He has half a dozen.
Shows that second jump ability. So quick off the floor. Quick shot.
Settling out for a quick three. So Virginia Tech with a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession. Maddox, very dangerous shooter.
Boy, they had Aluma rolling to the basket, but the pressure didn't allow the passer to see him.
Aluma finding an opening, got up high, and it'll be a blocking foul and no basket.
Talked about Justin Mutz being an energy giver. He expends so much energy out there, goes up with his second one, but he was first off the floor with his second jump and was able to tip it in with that left hand. He's not that tall, but he's long and he has great hands. Transferred in from Delaware, and he's in the top 10 in the ACC in rebounding and an excellent offensive rebounder, as he just showed right there. Averages over 2 offensive rebounds per game.
Got him listed at 6'7". And another one for Aluma. That'll roll in.
Well, Aluma's off to a great start. He is such a good player.
Named preseason first team All-ACC. A quick strike for the Blue Devils.
The ball was more in the middle of the floor, and Roach with a terrific back cut. Caught Couture ball watching. Mutz.
A lot of contact. Blocked out of the sky by Banchero.
Tried to isolate him on the elbow.
Banchero wants the lane. Gave it up. Tipped right back to him. Roach trying to penetrate. Mutz with another rebound. Hauls in 7 a game. Their number 1 assist man and rebounder. Wasn't quite ready for that pass.
He was directing traffic, and all of a sudden the ball comes to him.
Aline working on Williams, thought better of that. Murphy with a catch and shoot. Buries it. The triple.
That's like a layup for Storm Murphy, the transfer from Wofford. All Southern Conference at 73s last season, averaged close to 18 points per game. If he gets his feet set, you can count it.
Mike Young calls him the Stormer. Storm Murphy, it's his mom's maiden name, Storm, and they say he was born during a January snowstorm.
Or it could have been partly cloudy Murphy.
Banchero at this time snatches one back, and that falls in.
Well, Mark Williams kept that ball alive. Couldn't grab the rebound, but just knocked it away. He was being boxed out, but just keeping it alive allowed Banchero to grab it and put it in. got to get a hockey offensive rebound for that.
Aluma, and some contact before by Williams for that bounce pass, so it'll go against Duke, the foul.
Well, Storm Murphy just gets caught ball watching there, and a great cut by Jeremy Roach and a beautiful pass.
ESPN in the app, 3:30 Eastern. The North Texas Mean Green take on Miami of Ohio. That's the inaugural Frisco Football Classic. Then the Sunshine State matchup between UCF and Florida. The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Certainly the most wonderful time of the year. I know you're a huge college football fan. For the college football playoffs, who comes out on top? Who are you favoring?
I like Alabama, but I can't wait to see Cincinnati take on the Crimson Tide. See if their defensive secondary can hang with those great receivers. It's going to be tough without Mechie, but Alabama looks like they're the best.
Cincinnati,
again.
Yeah, big chip on their shoulder after being ignored for a lot of the season. Here's Couture giving it up. Murphy with a shot clock factor, dribbling down to 3. He's going to have to launch a long one and buries it.
Boy, good pass out by Justin Mutz. Did not panic with the shot clock going down. Duke has done a pretty good job of guarding the three-point line thus far. It's been mostly Aluma and Mutz doing the scoring. But this is an excellent three-point shooting Virginia Tech team.
Roach to the paint, little 13-footer. Lot of iron, but it drops in for him.
Boy, it was good defense by Storm Murphy. Did a nice job staying in front, bodying up. That was just an excellent shot by Jeremy Roach.
So far, Jay, the clean game that the numbers kind of told you it would be.
Yeah, Duke's only committed 2 fouls, only 2 turnovers total for the two teams.
Aluma following his own miss, jumps inside and gets the chippy.
Well, you don't often see a guy shooting a 3 get the offensive rebound right near the basket, but Aluma must have known he missed it and went after it strong. Nobody boxed him out.
Yeah, they did explore the NBA draft options during the offseason. Coming back, here's Griffin for 2. You talked about how he has earned extra minutes, and he's getting them tonight.
Well, his last 3 games, averaging about 12 points, 4 rebounds, over 2 assists. Has not had a turnover and shooting 63% from the field over that period. That provides really good depth for Duke if he can play big minutes.
And we're trying to swoop inside, but John was all over him. Excellent defense. With 4:45 left in the half, here's his numbers so far. Last 3 games, averaging, as Jay mentioned, almost 12 points a game. Really shooting the lights out.
His dad, Adrian Griffin, was a great player at Seton Hall with the Toronto Raptors now. But because of injury, he hadn't really played the last year and a half. So he's still getting his feet under him.
And a whistle on the floor. 27-27.
Ball goes inside to Mutz. You can see the shot clock winding down, and Griffin just came off of Murphy to dig down a little bit, and that opened it up for Murphy. He did a really good job of relocating, but still staying within Mutz's vision. And Mutz is the leading assist guy, about 3 per game for this Virginia Tech team, and a lot of those assists come out of the post.
Roger Ayers and John Gaffney talking this one over. The foul was on Mark Williams, number 2, on the 7-footer for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, I think they were saying it was on the floor rather than a shooting foul, and that's being explained right now to Mike Young.
Hokies have already played 1 ACC game. Take a look at this. Kind of an awkward play by Aluma there with a foul on Williams. That 1 ACC loss was to Wake Forest. Going for the slam-a-lee, nothing there. Aluma.
A really good recovery by Duke to take away that 3.
Gasson from the corner, can't find the range. More on the outlet. Banchero been pretty quiet so far. Nifty spin there. Here's Griffin. Not this time.
A heck of a block out by Hunter Couture on Trevor Keels. 2 strong guards going after each other. Boy, Virginia Tech really having to start their offense further out on the floor than they like.
Yeah, taking Aluma a long time to back in outside the lane. Yes, what a nice feathery touch.
He does have a great touch. Got away with shifting his pivot feet there.
He also has 15 points. He's now taken over as the star of the night. Coach trying to penetrate heavy traffic and a foul. Tough play, and he's at the line for a three-point play.
Probably got fouled twice there, but the officials called the second one instead of the one on the floor. Got the one in the air, so he was able to complete that play and go to the line for a potential three-point play.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Peloton. Get the original bike, still at the best price ever. Is it me? I like those sweaters.
I haven't noticed the sweaters. I don't think the sweaters are ugly. It's what's popping out of the top of them that may give you a little bit of pause.
Yes. 29-29. Boy, the Hokies step for step with the number 2 team in the country here on Duke's Force so far tonight. Continually going inside to that man, Keve Aluma, and he's just flat getting it done with 17.
Well, it's been one-on-one in the post for Keve Aluma, and Duke has not sent a second defender to double. But the calculus has got to be they would rather go with that than have Virginia Tech launching up threes on them, because it's an excellent three-point shooting team.
Duke needing more of that, too, from Banchero. So the impact players, what they've done so far tonight, they've played like stars on both sides. Mutz went to make a move. Roger Ayers with a travel call.
Roger Ayers was like a judge where you try to interrupt the judge and the judge says, I was about to rule in your favor.
Standing right next to Coach
If you'd let me finish.
If you'd let me.
If you'd let me make the call.
This is going your way. Yeah, this is gonna be good for you, Coach K. That was a priceless look on his face. Stolen away by Mutz, and will finish in style.
Well, there's the demonstrated value of Justin Mutz. He can guard absolutely anybody. And you take your eye off the ball, you're a little bit casual, and he makes you pay for it with an easy bucket on the other end.
This has been impressive by the Hokies. Griffin somehow getting inside, got the shot up there and a whistle. 2:14 left in the first half. Back to that steal.
Well, Justin Mutz guarding Paolo Banchero. Just a casual pass to Banchero. He just shoots the gap, takes it the other way, and he can get off the floor. He's got another step on his ladder. Just picked up a foul. Did a great job of coming over from the weak side, but just brought his arms down in trying to challenge that shot by A.J. Griffin.
Yeah, Mutz with his first personal. So Griffin at the stripe.
Keve Aluma has been spectacular in this game. A terrific low post player with a jump hook. We talked about his great feet, his outstanding hands. Also a terrific passer. But they can play through him because he can open up the floor. He can pick and pop. He's just got everything.
And a violation, so 33-32. Aluma's 17 along with 4 rebounds. Came in averaging 14 and 6 rebounds a game. It's on the Naismith and Wooden watch lists, and you're seeing why. They feed him in the low post. A dribble down, got it up there. Good D that time by Banchero.
Yeah, he took a bump and just couldn't finish through it, but a good play, run, a little high-low duck in.
And a foul with 1:51 to go. Banchero with a lot of contact there, an offensive foul, and that'll be number 2.
It was funny. Roger Ayers had a charge. I thought John Gaffney was going to jump in and call a block, but no, he was going to call a charge too. They were both getting into their punch.
And Banchero not thrilled with that.
These are the kind of charges that basketball should value. The primary defender maintaining legal guarding position to draw a charge. It's the one that needs to change is the secondary defender coming over and sliding in to a driver that's won a path to the basket. That needs to change.
And hitting the deck after a foul, Naheem Aline. And Griffin will get his first. 1 point lead for the Hokies. Now the annual NBA on Christmas Day tradition continues. 5 of the best gifts anyone could ask for. Star-studded schedule starting at noon Eastern, Pacific on ESPN. Hawks and Knicks, then over on ABC. It's Celtics, Bucks, Warriors, Suns, Nets, Lakers on ABC and ESPN. And the day capped off by Mavs, Jazz at 10:30 Eastern on a great Christmas Day NBA lineup.
Where Virginia Tech just ran a great play, a little misdirection to bring Couture back to the ball. And when he gets a chance to set his feet, he's another guy that can really drill it.
Well, they're going to get Theo John for this personal.
Watch Couture here, just comes right back to the ball, gets a little screen from Aluma and picks off Wendell Moore Jr. He goes slow to fast, a great cutter. And Mike Jones, the outstanding associate head coach for Virginia Tech, he came to this staff from DeMatha, where he spent 23 years, said that Hunter Couture is the smartest player he's ever been around. And Mike Jones, right behind Mike Young there, has been around some great players in his time as a coach.
What a compliment.
I got a lot of dumbest players I've ever been around, but I never got the smartest player.
DeMatha for 19 seasons. Yeah, he saw some outstanding talent. Aluma again with a misfire, battles for the rebound. Roach comes away with it. And with 40 seconds left, the Blue Devils on the attack. Keels draws the foul. The contact has been pretty serious. It's been a physical game.
Well, Virginia Tech is a physical basketball team. They may not look it when they get off the bus, but they've got strength and they use leverage really well and play angles really well.
Second one on Aline, by the way.
The other thing Virginia Tech does is that they do not get overextended on defense. You know, they're not out in passing lanes. They don't guard too far past the three-point line, but they're always there on the catch.
Keels with another one coming, 37 seconds before the break. And Virginia Tech dreaming of an upset tonight against the number 2 team in the country. Keels missed them both, chases down his own miss. And Roach will set it up. 10 seconds to get off, 11 to get off the shot, and a timeout by Coach K. So a timeout on the floor, and it's the Hokies leading Duke 36-32. Well, Hokies by 4. Aluma, the biggest reason why, is 17. The rest of the team for Virginia Tech has 19.
Well, Virginia Tech has done a very good job of getting their tempo. It's been mostly, with a few exceptions, a half-court game. And Virginia Tech has done a really good job of moving the ball from one side to the other. We talked about them being a ball reversal team, and that allows them to get some cuts, get some movement, and find openings.
Now, Mike Young's teams always play good defense. They've won the turnover battle in 11 of the 12 games they've played, so they're stingy with the turnovers. Moore in the paint, flips it up. A rare miss here in the first half for Wendell Moore Jr.
Plenty of time here for Virginia Tech to get the last shot of the first half.
Murphy. 5 seconds left before halftime. They get it to Couture. He'll drive it. Got it up. No. And no basket in the end. But an impressive first half for the Hokies. They lead at 36-32.
Well, Virginia Tech played very well, especially on the defensive end in that first half. This is a good basketball team that's playing very much like it.
Zubin, Sean, and Seth coming your way at halftime in those beautiful sweaters. Exciting second half coming up from Cameron Indoor. Guys. To the ACC on ESPN from Cameron Indoor. Virginia Tech smelling an upset over number 2 Duke on top 36-32 as we get set for the second half. Dave O'Brien, Jay Billis with it. Jay, it's the first time all season long Duke has trailed at halftime.
Yeah, you got to give Virginia Tech credit, and I thought Sean Farnham put it really well in the first half. Virginia Tech's offense really helped their defense because they didn't allow Duke out in transition. Virginia Tech only turned the ball over twice in that first half. They knocked down 4 of their 10 threes, and when they got one-on-one coverage in the post, I thought that Aluma was fantastic. Keve Aluma had 17 points in that first half, 6 rebounds. Justin Mutz had 8 points, 6 rebounds, a couple of assists. And Justin Mutz with that steal, that was really one of the only transition buckets we saw in that first half. The question in the second half is going to be, can Duke get Paolo Banchero going a little bit? He was only 3 of 9 in that first half. And can Duke put better pressure on the ball and better pressure defensively on Virginia Tech and turn the Hokies over? Because in the first half, they could not buy a turnover because Virginia Tech was so good with the basketball.
Banchero, 2 fouls, 3 turnovers, along with the 3 for 9 that Jay Billis spoke of. So we are getting underway here in the second half. First half really moved along, only 7 turnovers for the 2 teams combined. Duke just 2 of those. Banchero on the wing. We'll see if he gets started quickly here in the second 20. Moore had 12 in the first half. He slams on the brakes. Roach with a left hand, no.
Well, Virginia Tech in the first half did a very good job on the glass. Not just the defensive glass, but they got some second shots, some offensive rebounds. And the rhythm of the game has been Virginia Tech's. Good backdoor cut.
Yeah, and Couture finishes that. The feed there by the top player for the Hokies, Aluma. He can do everything.
Well, and that was not just getting back cut, it was pressure on the ball. If you don't have enough pressure on the ball, the passer can see with good vision and deliver that pass with ease. Good job going against the overplay, little step and go. Weak side help had been eliminated. But Dave, basketball is a game of rhythm. Establish yours, disrupt theirs, and Duke has been unable to disrupt this Virginia Tech rhythm.
Murphy, Mutz saying yes, he gets it to go.
What a beautiful cut to the basket by Justin Mutz.
Well, right out of the gate in the second half, the Hokies add on to their lead. This is the biggest lead they've had in the ball game, up by 8. Keels wriggling underneath for 2.
Well, the biggest issue is Virginia Tech has made Duke into a half-court basketball team. When you take away transition, make them play in the half court, they've been less effective.
Murphy, tough pass. Williams was waiting on that. He bats it away, but Keels loses control.
Smart play by Mutz just to save that ball before it went out of bounds so Couture could pick it up.
Hokies on top, 40-34. They have 1 win all-time at Cameron Indoor. That was in 2007 in overtime, 69-67. Guess who again? Keve Aluma floating to the rim.
Just a simple give and go. It still works, Dave O'Brien. Great cut by Aluma and a terrific delivery by Justin Mutz, their best passer. Everything is coming out of the post for Virginia Tech.
And it's all very comfortable as well. They're looking very much at ease.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're playing comfortably because they haven't had the pressure on them to take them out of their comfort zone.
Banchero back beyond the 3 now inside. And just beat the shot clock. He got it off in time.
And it was well defended by Keve Aluma. That's just better offense against excellent defense.
Well, Duke could really use the crowd behind them. A lot of these fans bought these tickets a long time ago. Of course, the students on here right now, they are out of town for the holidays, and a lot of these people make pilgrimages here to Cameron Indoor. Loose ball, and that'll roll over the baseline, and their 4th turnover.
Well, terrific backdoor cut by Hunter Couture and an excellent delivery. And then another great cut. This is an excellent passing and cutting team. And then just the simple give and go. Didn't jump to the ball to take away the ball side of the cut. And Aluma able to get all the way to the basket with ease against Mark Williams.
Banchero on Aluma. Pretty good matchup there as they bang inside. And he finishes it in the end and now suddenly has 10 points.
Well, Banchero showing that strength at 6'10", 250 pounds. Well defended at first, but they couldn't defend the offensive board.
Aluma again. Murphy thought about the 3. Shot clock at 8. Murphy with a long fall-away three. That was a tough shot. And a scramble for that. It'll go the other way. It's Duke ball.
Paolo Banchero is so skilled at 6'10". Just muscles his way in, misses the initial shot, knew he missed it, and went after that second shot with both hands for the easy stick back.
More sizzled in the first half. Banging with Couture, and a whistle on the play and a foul.
It's a smart play by Hunter Couture. Bodied up. Mike Krzyzewski wanting a flop. It probably was a little bit, but he took it with his chest, and that's going to be called an offensive foul in college basketball almost every time. Good play by Hunter Couture.
Out of Honolulu, the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. Liberty a big win today. Stanford legend Kim Belton, our producer, is on cloud nine. They win at 66-63 over Wyoming.
Yeah, Stanford had 21 from Jaden Dallaire. They out-rebounded Wyoming, and Darius McGee was fantastic in that Liberty game. He had 22 points, and A.J. Green had a shot for Northern Iowa to win that at the buzzer, but that was a great win for Richie McKay and Liberty.
Here the Hokies leading at 42-38 at Cameron Indoor. Mutz feeding Aluma, who's been on fire all night long. Keve Aluma trying to add to his total, can't do it there.
Boy, Mutz almost grabbed that offensive rebound. Aluma had a switch going against Griffin.
Banchero really wants to shoot it. Griffin stumbling through the lane. Here's a three. Yes! Banchero on target. He's blowing up in the second half.
Yeah, that's 7 points to start this second half for Paolo Banchero.
And a whistle at midcourt. They'll get Roach for the personal.
Banchero showed some good patience there. He could have shot that ball early against Aluma, but gave it up and then spaced back out to the three-point line for that little step back. Held his follow through.
Duke's last lead was 23-22 with 6:47 left in the first half.
Duke's trying to ratchet up the pressure. See, they're forcing Virginia Tech a little bit further out on the floor.
And now another whistle here with 14:51 to go. All of a sudden, a bunch of those.
Well, they got Keels trying to bump off Hunter Couture off that, handoff screen action, that little zoom action. And that's what Virginia Tech has to continue to do. They have to be strong on their cuts because they're going to get physical play.
Off the inbounds, Murphy. A little too strong.
Good late pressure on that shot.
Roach to the paint, a bump out high, and before the block, a foul. That will go against Mutz.
Duke's looking to drive the ball more in the second half, try to get a piece of the paint, then they can play a little bit more drive and kick, maybe attack a closeout off that.
Mutz with foul number 2. And the 6'5" Moore puts it in here for Keels. Banchero, the man right now. Great pass on the cut to Keels.
Beautiful cut. It looked like Banchero was going up for the shot, but caught him out of the corner of his eye.
Duke with a 9-0 run, and they're back in front. Couture really good beyond that three-point line. Aline with a misfire.
And the pressure is forcing Virginia Tech to rush.
Moore talking about rushing. End to end.
It was the quick shot, the rush shot that led to the easy transition on the other end. We didn't see much of that in the first half.
Mutz thought about a three. He'll drive it. Great defense again. He wanted a foul, but nothing there. Moore had to turn around, did not expect that pass. Roche with a quick step, blew by everybody, but couldn't finish it.
Probably surprised how wide open he was at the bucket.
Yeah, I think so. A lean from the corner. No answer there. Tipped around, right back out high to Murphy. Couture with a catch, won't wait, can't hit it.
He doesn't miss many of those. You could see him clapping his hands. He knew Hunter Couture, when he gets a shot that wide open, he rarely misses.
Yeah, he's 44% beyond the three. 2/3 of his shots have come out there. Moore looking inside. Griffin, yes! The back door has been wide open here in the second half.
Duke's defensive pressure on one end has led to better offense on the other. Great cut by Keels and another outstanding cut by A.J. Griffin.
Should be a dandy in the college football playoffs now. Quite a carousel among the ACC. New head football coaches. Both of these schools, Brent Pry for Virginia Tech taking over, and Mike Elko, the new head man for the Blue Devils.
Of those four, who's under the most pressure initially?
Boy, it's a great question. Tony Elliott coming off of all that success with Clemson. I mean, a terrific coordinator. I mean, immediate results are going to be expected, whether that's fair or not.
Yeah, Cristobal at Miami is going to have some pressure on him, too, to turn the Canes program around.
Yes. They're used to winning there. 47-42 Duke. They're on a 13-0 run.
A big difference, Dave, in the pressure that Duke is putting on the ball. Virginia Tech had a tough time just initiating some offense, having to turn their back far away from the basket.
Couture, blue bump there by Moore. He'll pick up the foul. And the crowd howling on that one. That's number 2. Wendell pleading his case with A.J. to say, but nothing doing. 47-42 Blue Devils. Hokies with the basketball. Aluma working on a 19-point game. Couture launching and hitting. As you said, that's not a tough shot for him.
He is such an outstanding shooter, and you just can't allow him to get any shot from the catch spot. When he can step into a shot, he just drills it more often than not.
Baker leaning in. Plenty of contact. Made the shot. He's going to the line.
Strong play by Joey Baker. In his last 5 games, he's 13 of 27 from the field. Took a bump, but didn't get knocked off his path. And was still able to finish that play, get the contact, and drop it in.
2 on Darius Maddox. Baker with his 100th career field goal. And outstanding at the foul line. Duke's top free throw shooter and a 3-point play. So the Blue Devils on a big surge. They were down at half for the first time all season to anybody. Feed here, and guess what? It's Aluma adding to his total. He now has 21.
Boy, really nice job by Sean Padula there. A little stop and go move because Keels was putting really good pressure on him. But that little hesitation move allowed him to get to the basket, draw the defender, and then dish it off to Aluma.
Griffin with a little follow away. Pretty sweet shot. He's got 7.
Well, he is such a good player and really coming on. Strong body, he can shoot it.
Couture lost it. Baker scooping it. And a reach in and a foul against the Hokies. That'll go on Couture. 11:16 left. Fans in the house and making a lot of noise to support the Blue Devils. ACC Network will have a matinee college hoop matchup for you next Wednesday. Paulo and number 2 Duke at Little John Arena to take on Clemson. Coverage starting at 2 Eastern. If you don't have ACC Network, go to ACCN.com for instant access.
Clemson with a nice win over Virginia tonight. Limited Virginia to 50 points. The Cavaliers went a 16-minute stretch in that game with only 1 field goal.
Well, tomorrow, heading home, Virginia Tech taking on North Carolina next. Duke on the road to Clemson. As conference play is now fully underway. Banchero was caught fire here in the second half. Tipped by Moore. Boy, outfought everybody for that rebound. Right back in there and draws the foul.
Wendell Moore went right over the top of Naheem Aline, who had inside position. But Moore is just taller and longer. Tough shot by Banchero, but just knocked the ball to himself and grabbed it right over the top of Aline.
Aluma with foul number 2. 6'5" junior from Charlotte with 15 so far. Duke's assist leader.
Well, he's been Duke's best player. Banchero's their most talented, but Wendell Moore has meant everything to this team, especially from a leadership standpoint.
Also making 58% of his shots and 39% beyond the three-point line.
Question with this lineup is, where is Virginia Tech going to find points? Aluma's been dominant. He's got 21.
Padula and a kick ball, and it's going to be out off of Duke, and that was with 4 on the shot clock.
Now a little more firepower coming into the game for Virginia Tech. Couture and Mutz back in.
And now the Hokies of Mike Young need a hot hand, aside from Aluma, who has been just superb. He's kept them in it. And they had the lead at halftime, 36-32. Hokies to get it in. Find an open man, and Couture knows exactly what to do with it.
Boy, they ran a little elevator play on the right side of the floor. And Hunter Couture was all by himself on the left and just shot past his defender for an easy layup. Almost put him to sleep.
He's had a good night. He has 10. That's what he averages. Griffin again, a hard drive, banks it in! Giving Duke a lot of life here in the second half.
Boy, a really good drive and attack of the closeout off the ball reversal. Just got middle against Justin Mutz, took the contact, never took his eyes off the rim, and dropped it in off the glass.
Mutz picking up his 3rd, so that's an issue with about 10 minutes to go. Griffin was really coming on as important man coming off the bench for Coach K as a 3-point play, and he has 10 points.
Boy, to be able to get double figures off the bench, that is a huge lift that A.J. Griffin has provided this team.
Duke by 8. Aluma. Pass deflected. Picked off, and here comes Keels with it.
Smart play by Roach to knock that away.
Moore stepping. Banks it in! And that's the biggest lead for Duke. They're up 10.
Well, that was one tough drive right through the body of Storm Murphy. Well, it's really been Duke's defense that's been the difference in this second half. Look how far out Virginia Tech has to run its offense just to make a catch.
Aluma kicks it out. Another deflected pass, another one. It got to Aline, and here's the pick. It's Roach again. Back to Moore. Moore finishes. And are they going to count it? No basket. But a foul here with exactly 9 minutes to go.
Boy, just a terrific drive and great strength by Wendell Moore to finish that through the contact. Duke has been much stronger in this second half, especially on the defensive end. That's made all the difference.
Well, Couture just picked up his third. Some foul trouble rearing now suddenly for the Hokies. At 4 o'clock on ESPN2. And then stay up late, 10 p.m. or midnight Eastern time on ESPN2 for the other semifinal.
But BYU's got a good team. Alex Barcelo averaging about 20 points per game, shooting over 50% from the field, over 50% from three. There aren't many better shooters in the country than Barcelo.
Banchero looking for the paint, almost slapped away by Couture.
But Couture did a nice job at digging down, then recovering back out to Wendell Moore.
Since Virginia Tech opened up an 8-point lead at 42-34, Duke's on a 27-7 run after that basket by Banchero.
Beautiful footwork by Paolo Banchero. Looked like he might go with a fadeaway jumper, just pivoted all the way to the basket.
Aluma. He's got a little bit cold. The tip won't go by Mutz. Griffin wants to push it. Roach will step into one. Mutz with the board. Griffin fighting for it. Freed the basketball. And then they go for the jump. They go for a held ball. And it'll go the other way. Crowd doesn't like the call. Great hustle by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, that was a tough one because Duke came away with the ball. Hard to imagine when you come away from the ball, it's tied up. That's not a tie-up.
Yeah, quick whistle. Possession arrow gives it over to the Hokies, so they catch a break.
Maybe they thought they missed a foul, and that was the makeup.
Did you always believe that as a player, that eventually a makeup is going to be coming?
You didn't eventually feel like it would, but you knew there were makeup calls in games. There are less of them now than there used to be because there's more scrutiny.
Officials getting together here. We'll take a look at some of Banchero's footwork a moment ago.
He made such a good move. He gave Aluma the idea that he was going to shoot a little fadeaway. He jumps on that fadeaway, and then he just pivots right around him all the way to the rim.
The crowd continuing to boo that last call, but Duke's on top 61-49. And 8 minutes to play. Hokies need a run. Poked away by Griffin. And they're going to get the ball back. Duke will have the basketball. A.J. Griffin has come off the bench, and he's wreaking havoc. And Paulo's really gotten going scoring-wise.
Mike Schmitz, our spectacular talent evaluator for the NBA draft, ranks Paolo Banchero number 2 overall. I think that's behind Chet Holmgren of Gonzaga. And you can see Mike is a difficult grader on the defense, a C+. But how about this fun fact? He would be the first player in NBA history named Paolo. I'll take useless Paolo facts for 400, Alex.
Well, he's been playing like it here in the second half, and he wriggles underneath. Followed his own miss. He's done that several times.
Yeah, that's his strength. I thought there'd been a Paolo in the NBA. That's surprised.
Got plenty of Pauls.
Paolo Silas. Paolo Westphal.
On the outside, here's Maddox swinging it in for Mutz, and a foul by Griffin from behind. So the Hokies back to the line.
Really one of the few times that Virginia Tech in the second half has had a clean look at the basket. A good cut down low by Justin Mutz and not enough pressure on the ball, which has been a big difference in this second half for Duke. The amount of pressure that Duke has put on the ball, they've made it difficult for Virginia Tech to throw passes, to get dribble handoffs. They've blown up a number of those and turned over Virginia Tech and sped them up to the point where a lot of their shots have been rushed.
Yeah, John Madry tells us first half Virginia Tech had 2 turnovers, second half already with 6. To your point. 63-52 Duke.
In the second half, Duke's been playing through Paolo Banchero. He can catch it off the low block.
Draws the foul there. And is saying before he got the shot off, I think.
Yeah, that was sort of a James Harden move going into the arms of the defender.
And the foul will be on Mutz. That's 4 on Justin Mutz. So this will be a 1-and-1. Paulo making 81% at the foul line. Has 18 points.
That's really the next step in his development, is get to the foul line even more. With that body, he's not a finesse player, even though he's very skilled. He needs to be a power player.
Opens up a 13-point lead for Duke in a game that was really, really close until Duke got really serious, defensively in particular, and through Banchero. Mutz on the drive, hits the deck. He'll draw another foul.
And that's what Duke wants to do, is make Virginia Tech into a one-on-one team. That was basically a one-on-one move because Virginia Tech couldn't run cleanly its offense to be able to reverse the ball from side to side. So Mutz had to take on that drive on his own.
And Griffin with his 3rd foul. We did not see many fouls at all, Jay, in the first half. A ton more here in the second half.
Yeah, the game has been physical all the way through.
Mutz makes the first. He scuffles at the line. That's one area he does. 53%, but he's 14 in the game. Griffin gets a nice hand from the Duke faithful, and he's earning those hands.
Boy, Mutz is such a versatile player. We've talked about his ability to literally guard every position on the floor, but he's such a connector and leader for Virginia Tech.
And Mike Young called him the key to their season last year in Blacksburg. Just a beautiful campus there, by the way, at Virginia Tech.
And a great place for basketball. Castle Coliseum is really one of the cool places to see a game. Gets loud in there.
And are their football fans ever passionate? And they want a winner again. Here's Roach. Trying to penetrate again. He's going to go the other way. An offensive foul.
Got him with a hook. Looked like he had an arm bar on him, but tried to drive through it.
Coach K, 31-10 all-time in ACC openers. Here's another look.
See the arm bar there with that left arm. That should be an automatic call, but for some reason in college basketball, that's gone uncalled all season long. But the hook definitely was there.
Murphy, quick step, lays it in. Storm Murphy has 8 points.
Well, he's a good player. That was one heck of a team he played on with Fletcher McGee, and I think we mentioned it before, Chavez Goodwin, who's now starting for Southern Cal. And the Trojans off to another great start out in the Pac-12.
Yeah, you're talking about a Wofford team that upset Seton Hall in the first round of the NCAA tournament that year. Moore, a little reversal, can't finish.
Duke's really attacked matchups in this second half.
Murphy again. Roach shutting him down. Aluma's cooled off here in the second half. Padula with the feed to the big fella.
Boy, good drive by Padula. When he caught that ball off the relocation, he immediately drove it and drew the defense.
Aluma now 23 and a timeout with 5:22. 65-58. So the Hokies making a little run here to cut into the Blue Devil advantage. Talking about Storm Murphy, grad transfer from Wofford, played for Coach Young there between 2017, 18, and 19, and now joining his former coach here with the Hokies.
Yeah, really moves well without the ball and much stronger than his height would suggest. He's solid.
And leading the charge here, the Hokies with a little 6-0 run over the last 90 seconds or so. So Coach K with a timeout, trying to stop that.
Well, that was a smart timeout. This is a big possession here, because if Virginia Tech, with a little bit of momentum, they can get a stop and a score, all of a sudden there's a lot more game pressure on Duke heading down the stretch in regulation.
And plenty of time left here for the Hokies, who played a very savvy first half, barely turned it over a lot more in the second half, but they led at the break 36-32 here at Cameron Indoor. Duke, the number 2 team in the country, just the one loss coming at Ohio State.
Because of the way Virginia Tech plays and their versatility, Duke's gone with Banchero at the 5 spot.
He banks it in. That's another very strong move to the hole, and 21 points for Paulo.
Yeah, he's come out with a different attitude in the second half. He's come out with the attitude to dominate.
Padula.
Wow, he got hit.
No whistle. Keels batted away from behind, so Duke will have the ball here under 5 minutes to go.
Banchero has taken on Aluma here. Aluma early on was guarding Mark Williams at times, but Williams has not played much in this game just because of the type of game it is. Williams would have to play more on the perimeter, get out and guard ball screens and exchanges and cuts. It's more of a small man's game.
Long one here off the back of the iron by Banchero.
Virginia Tech needs a score here. This is a big possession for the Hokies with 4.5 to go.
Murphy. Aluma. Fading away. Difficult angle. Mutz grabs it. And they throw it away.
Boy, what a great rebound by Mutz. Aluma looked like he had an angle on that initial drive, but then stopped to try to pivot. He should have taken it all the way.
Under 4 here at Cameron. Keels. Bounce feed and deflected by the Hokies. 11 on the shot clock.
There's so much contact on these drives. You really have to be strong with the ball.
So timeout, 3:52 remaining. Duke on top, 67-58 in Duke's ACC opener. Our game summary: Banchero has been the man in the second half with 15 points. Aluma and Mutz combining for 38 for Virginia Tech. Felt like they really needed a hoop the last time down.
Yeah. Virginia Tech had a great opportunity off that offensive rebound, but pitched it away. Boy, A.J. Griffin's given a really big lift to Duke in this game.
Here's his 3 with a shot clock at 1, and that was on cue. The words were just out of your mouth. Yeah, he has 13 in the game. And his last 3-4 games have been outstanding. Mutz on the turn and a whistle.
Shot clock winding down. Griffin just takes a step back and pulls up over Mutz. Such a good shooter. And you can see his confidence is growing play by play.
Now just picked up his 4th foul. You talked about his dad, Adrian Griffin, who played a long time in the NBA. His sister, Aubrey, who plays at UConn as well. Very talented family. Mutz to the line with 3:26 to go.
That was a really good play. Run out of that timeout by Virginia Tech. Got the ball to the elbow to Aluma and just a quick duck in by Mutz. A little high-low action.
Mutz has had a nice night. He has 16 after that miss on the second foul shot.
But for the most part, Duke has taken away Virginia Tech's three-point attack and limited Virginia Tech. They average about 9 threes per game and lead the league, shooting 40% from 3.
And they're 5 out of 16 in this one. Keels missing. Free ball back to Banchero. Got to get it up there. He'll drive it. Rebounded away by the Hokies. They need some magic to happen here, down 70-59. Murphy from 15. Rebound tipped by Aluma. Give him 2 more, and he has 25.
Look how hard Storm Murphy had to work just to get that shot. Everything was off the dribble. And Virginia Tech unable to run the same offense they were running in the first half. They can't get the passes and the reversals in order to set up cuts.
A rare sloppy turnover there for Coach K's team. They've kicked it over 9 times tonight. That's right at their average. Under 2:20 left. Mutz on Griffin. Still working it and scores.
Just got a little cross screen down low to set up Mutz for one-on-one in the post.
And a timeout. 2:07 showing, 70-63. The Hokies still in it.
Mutz just got a screen from Hunter Couture that allowed him to catch the ball in the low block. He had one-on-one in the post, just took his time, was very poised. And Duke has decided all game long, whether it's Aluma or Mutz down in the post, they're not going to double because they don't want to give up open threes.
Well, your point on the three-point shooting is well taken for the Hokies because it's been a big reason behind the success this season, 40%. And it has not been the case tonight. Duke has done a really good job taking that away for the most part.
Well, they made 4 out of 10 in the first half. In the second half, they've only made 1. And a number of their three-point opportunities and perimeter opportunities have been rushed because of the pressure that they faced in this second half that they didn't see quite as much in the first half from Duke.
So just over 2 minutes to go. And Duke will have the basketball coming out of the commercial break, looking for their the timeout. 11th victory of the season, trying to go to 11-1.
And really, Duke doesn't have to be in a rush here. They've got a 7-point lead and under 2 minutes in regulation.
Moore drives it, kicks it, Banchero, and a foul. Ready to rise up and dunk that, but took the hit.
And a great job by Wendell Moore Jr. turning the corner, getting downhill. And when you drive that hard, that means you're going to have to help up. And when Aluma helped up, that just made the drop-off easy for Moore.
Number 3 on Maddox. And a 6'10 freshman out of Seattle will sink the first one to give him 22.
Because Moore was so strong and attacking, Aluma had to help up, and oftentimes you can just throw that up to the rim, but a nice little drop-off to Paolo Banchero.
Lead back up to 9. And the Hokies starting to run out of time.
Couture's got to find a way to get open.
Trying to get him the ball, but Moore was sticking to him. Here's Mutz to the paint again, and another whistle in the lane.
Well, Duke did a really nice job with Couture trying to come off that screening action, the handoff. They switched it, just had a body on him all the time. So he's coming off this little screen action. Moore switches off and just walls him off from going to get that handoff. And Duke would rather Virginia Tech take a tough 2 than give up an open 3.
Keels with his second foul. Mutz with a 1-and-1. And again, just 53% at the foul line, but smooth on that one. 90 seconds to go. Justin Mutz, 19 points. Came in averaging 9 points a game.
He plays so hard at both ends of the floor.
Looked really good at the line there. He's going to step out. Padula coming in.
Well, because he's got 4 fouls, that's an offense-defense switch.
Well, Blue Devils to run a little bit of clock here, up 72-65.
Virginia Tech looking to trap, picked it up in that coffin corner there for a timeout.
So the Blue Devils take one here, 1:17 to go. And a 72-65 lead for the number 2 team in the country. A.J. Griffin has shown up again in this one.
Well, his last 3 games, he's been excellent. We mentioned he's averaging 12 points a game over that stretch. He's come in here and had 13. And what a huge lift in this game that he has provided Duke. Knocking down shots, he's defended well. But that just gives them another weapon coming off the bench that perhaps they didn't have access to earlier in the year. And we mentioned, it's really been a year and a half since he's really played because of injuries he suffered in high school. So he's still just getting going. So there may be even better things in the future this year for A.J. Griffin.
It's had an outstanding second half with 10 points. Now, postponements and cancellations because of the COVID rise really ravaged the ACC schedule over the weekend. Duke was forced to pivot twice to fill Saturday's date, finally having Elon here. That prompted Coach K to call for a return to mandatory testing and to reconsider the ACC policy that teams who can't play due to positive tests would have to forfeit. And today the ACC modified that policy in line with Coach K's thinking.
Yeah, the forfeit thing never made much sense to me because you're rewarding a team for not having won. They didn't have to win the game, and you're punishing a team for getting ill.
Couture picks up the loose ball as the Hokies force the turnover. He's down the lane. Lost the handle on it, but knocked away by Duke. 1:06 to go. And they're going to come over and take a look at this last play.
Couture thought he got fouled. He felt that was a foul, was pleading to the officials. And he's right. He got hit on the arm.
Yeah, Roach going after him. And Moore slapping it away from behind. And the officials to the monitor. Roger Ayers and John Gaffney to take a look. So an official review with Duke in front here late. And the Hokies trying to make a charge. And I would assume taking a look to see who was off of there. With 1 minute and 6 seconds to go. And the Hokies will retain possession. So Virginia Tech looking for a couple of big shots here in this last minute of play. Aluma with a three. He's been the go-to man all night, but Keels collects the rebound.
Got the shot they wanted. Boy, they run good stuff.
And a foul at midcourt. Going to get Murphy on a shove on Keels. His second foul, 57.7. And a 1-and-1 coming.
Hard to believe Trevor Keels is just an 18-year-old freshman.
Thinking the exact same thing.
The way he's built, I mean, he looks like an NFL player.
6'5" freshman out of Clinton, Maryland. Had a great game in their opener against Kentucky. You had that one, Jay. He had 25.
25. He was outstanding. And has really played well his last three games. He's the ACC Freshman of the Week, the reigning Freshman of the Week. He's averaged about 15 his last three.
Has 11 tonight. Coming off 19 against Elon. So under a minute. Duke leading at 74-65. Murphy stepping back, long distance. It rolls out. Griffin another rebound. Moore on the dribble. Deep in the backcourt. Flings it. And it's going to be a 10-second violation. So they did not advance the ball beyond midcourt in those 10 seconds. And the Hokies have it with 34.3 seconds to go.
And Mike Krzyzewski pleading with his team, don't allow any threes here.
They want Couture, but it's knocked away by Keels. Keels will lay it in. And that finishes it. Certainly feels like it. 76-65. Duke doing it with defense.
Yeah, the defense in the second half has ratcheted up considerably from the first half, and that's really been the difference in the game. The pressure that Duke brought, both on the ball and in passing lanes, made it really difficult for Virginia Tech to run offense in the second half, and Mike Krzyzewski likes the second 20 minutes a heck of a lot better than he liked the first.
So did Paulo Banchero, who had 6 points in the first half. At times, he really looked frustrated, Jay, but 17 second half points for the gifted rookie.
Well, they ran a lot of offense through Banchero in the second half.
Off here to Maddox. Very good shooter, but can't connect there. And with 10 seconds to go, Duke can start to celebrate a hard-fought victory against the Hokies, who had them at halftime. First time that Duke had been trailing at halftime all season long, but the Blue Devils rally, and they win it in their ACC opener, 76-65.
Well, Virginia Tech is a good basketball team, but in the second half, Duke showed what kind of defensive team that it can be.
So Paulo Banchero and the Duke Blue Devils in the win column again. The number 2 team is now 11-2. Virginia Tech dropping to 8-5 and now 0-2 in the ACC. That's your final tonight. Duke 76 and the Hokies of Virginia Tech 65. For Jay Billis, I'm Dave O'Brien. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We certainly wish you the very happiest of holidays. Coach K with another victory. His team in great shape heading into their second ACC game against Clemson. We say so long from Durham.